Hey guys, it is Erin or Gimme Yarn 418 and I am here with my latest TGIF video on a Thursday. I was sitting down and I realized how long it had been since I did a video. Last week or the week before, I made a video of a flasher stash that I took down because the quality of my video was just so poor and I thought it was really grainy and fuzzy, so I am going to work on that. My studio is a little bit on the darker side. I don't have the best lighting for filming up there, but I'm going to see what I can do. And coming in the future, there will be another flasher stash video, so you can see what my stash looks like now compared to, I think it was like a year and a half ago. I don't know if it's bigger, smaller, or the same size, but a lot of it has changed, but a lot of it has also been replaced with the exact same stuff. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So, I have a lot of stuff to show you, so I'm going to get right into it. And then I have a question for all of you. So first I'm going to start with my works in progress. First, I am still working on the pentahexagons, the hexagon baby blankets. I have one more skein of baby yarn and then I'll be done, and my dogs just started singing inside the house because I'm outside and they're not here. Oh well, they're gonna have to deal for a few minutes. So anyway, pentahexagons, still a work in progress. Sparkly blanket of awesomeness, still a work in progress. My goal is to have the sparkly blanket of awesomeness done before the new year. And my goal for the pentahexagons is to have them done by the end of the summer, because shortly after the end of the summer I'll know whether or not the baby ends up being a boy or a girl, and I can say now the person having a baby is my sister, and she's announced it, and I'll know whether she's having a boy or a girl, and I can send her the blanket that is most appropriate for that. What else? Okay, so I have 3 works in progress. The first one doesn't look like much right now. It's out of James C. Brett Marble Chunky from this one I bought at Webb's when I went a couple weeks ago, but I was turned on to it by Sarah S.E. Hepworth in England, in the United Kingdom, and I just love it. So Mia already has a sweater. Molly will not be getting a sweater, and I just started Dewey's sweater. It doesn't look like much. There are the leg holes. I will say though that I'm saying a lot, and I apologize for that. I invested in some Hiya sharps in 16" because I just did it again. The interchangeables just don't cut it for a 16", and I don't want to invest in all new tips. And I'm gonna drive myself crazy. So I got a couple sets of the Hiya sharps in sizes I use a lot for hats and things like that, and I really love them. I think I may save up my pennies to try and get a set of Hiya sharp interchangeables because I just love them. My next work in progress is, if you're friends with me on Facebook, you know that I tap dance, and last week was the recital, and I had to cast on a pair of socks for the recital because there were 3 recitals, 1 dress rehearsal, and I'm very shy. I'm painfully shy, and I needed something to keep my mind off things. So I pulled out a skein of Spinning Fates. Yep. And wait to see the color. It's called Electric Boogie, and I'm working on my second sock now. And I just thought it was very fitting. It's just a plain vanilla sock. There's where my heel's gonna go, and these will be for me. And I have to finish these because of something that's coming up, which I will tell you at the end of the video. The last thing that I'm working on is, right before I did my Flash Your Stash video, I cleaned up the studio and I realized that my remnant yarn, or my scrap yarn, is beginning to overtake the studio. I have so many odds and ends and bits and bobs of worsted weight acrylic yarn that I said I need to do something with this. And I decided that I was going to make my first scrap blanket. And let me tell you, I am a little bit OCD when it comes to craftiness, and I like things in order, and I like to know what it's gonna look like when it's done, and a scrap blanket is very difficult for me, but one of my friends told me I need to broaden my horizons and push outside my push outside my comfort zone, and just go for it. So in all my true OCD-ness, I took all my scrap yarn and I rewound it so it's not a mess, and I put elastic bands around every single ball, and then I weighed all the balls. No, that's not what I did. First I did one stripe to see how much one stripe of yarn weighed, and it's 20 grams, so I rounded up to 25 grams because different brands of yarn can vary slightly. So then I took all my balls of yarn and I weighed every ball of yarn, and every ball of yarn that had 25 or more grams I put in this enormous bin to use for a scrap blanket. And I started. I'm not sure what this is called, but I will put a link in the description below. I think it's just called the Granny Stripe Blanket. And I'm doing variations randomly based on what ball of yarn I pick. I just pick randomly, of 1, 2, 3, or 4 stripes, so rows of one color, and my only rule is that I can't use the same color within a 3-row span. So if I have green here, I can't have green in the next 2 rows, and I can't have green 2 rows below it. So I'm working on it. It's about 6 feet wide, a little over 6 feet wide. And I actually love it. However, it is still very stressful because when I finish a row, I think to myself, oh, I don't know what it's going to look like. So I'm not going to open it fully because I'll have to step down, and then you'd have to see that we haven't cut the lawn in our dog run yet, so you won't see that. So this is my Granny Stripe blanket. I'm calling it, what am I calling it? Scrappy Stripes. And this is about 1/4 of the way. I want to make it between 7 and 8 feet long. And I will be completely honest, I love it. I love it. The only thing I realized is I don't have much yellow scrap. So I might have to go searching and see if I can find some more upstairs, because Kristen said I can't buy more because then it's not a scrap blanket. And she's right. And I need to let go. Just let it happen. So that is all my works in progress. And you might notice that 2 of the things that were in my works in progress last time are not there anymore. One is a hugely long time work in progress, and that's Kristen's brown socks. Well, I have 2 Kristen's brown socks, and I love them, and they're the perfect length, and they fit her really well, and now we just need to wait for winter, because finally it is almost summer. Tomorrow's the first day of summer. So, one thing off my list of works in progress, and I added 3 or 4 more. It's always the way it goes. Next thing. Oh, and this is the My Knitted Heart Vanilla Sock, something like that. The one I've been posting. You can look back if you want to see the pattern, and I just modified it to do toe up, and I used the socks on a plain heel. That's that. And next is the boat neck baby pullover that I was knitting on. I was knitting worsted weight when it was supposed to be sport. Well, it's done, and it's so freaking adorable. And I can't wait to see my niece or nephew wearing it. It's going to be so cute, and this is in the 60 More Quick Knits for Babies by Cascade. And it's supposed to be knit in sport weight yarn, but this is knit out of... I love this yarn. And I do love this yarn, and I just can't get comfortable. So, that's that. Next on my list, like I said, I have a huge list for my future niece or nephew, because I am from the Boston area. I showed you last time the Red Sox baseball hat for baby. Well, they also needed a Patriots hat. So there we go, Patriots hat, and I think it is adorable. And this pattern is from 60 Quick Baby Knits. This was supposed to be worsted weight yarn, and I did use worsted weight yarn, and this is both, I think they're both I love this yarn. Let me feel this one. Yep, they're both I love this yarn. And that's adorable. The next thing I made for an order, and I only have a photo of it. Yeah, I only have a photo of it, and that is a Minnie Mouse hat, skirt, and booty set, and I will put a picture of that in here. So yeah, the hat and skirt were great, but the booties, I will put a link to the pattern down below. I feel like if you pay for a pattern, the pattern should be right, the pattern should be easy to follow. I've been crocheting for more years than I like to admit, you know, almost 20 years. If I can't follow a basic booty pattern, there are problems, and I tried to talk, you know, I tried to handle it, but it wasn't received well by the designer, who said that nobody else had had any problems, but nobody else had any projects up on Ravelry. Be that as it may, if you choose to make them, have at it. If you have any questions, I can see if I can help you, but I used it more of an idea of how to make the booties. Next thing I have to find, I showed you this hat before in a teal. This is the Good Golly Miss Molly hat, which is not what it's really called. I think it's called the Snappy Hat on free pattern on Ravelry, and this is knit out of Plymouth yarn Tara Tweed in a green, and this is going away for my niece, Kristen's brother's daughter, for Christmas. Next up is the Lovejoy hat. Lovejoy. And I love this hat. Love. I don't usually like yellow, as you can see, because I don't have any scraps, but I had this left over from my Saturn cardigan. It's knit out of Cascade 220 Sport. The Lovejoy is a pay pattern on Ravelry, and I just love it. I think it's so cute. It's a really quick and easy knit. I had never really done a lot of lace knitting before, which is just the knit two together and yarn overs, and I found it easy to follow, really quick. It took me less than a day, and I love the way it came out. Ta-da! I'm such a goofball. Oh, I skipped one. I also finished another pair of socks. This is knit out of Peyton's Croy. It is called the Mini Cabled Socks. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. The only thing I did was I changed it. I used the Afterthought Heel from the Afterthought Heel Socks by Laura Linehan, and I did not use the toe. I used my regular toe, and they're done. These socks were a labor of love because for some reason it was a really easy pattern to follow, but my brain just wasn't having it. I must have started and ripped them out 6 times before I finally, over the course of many months, you didn't see them the first couple times I cast them on. But I love how they came out. I like a shorter cuff. These are for me. And someone asked me before, I don't know if I ever answered, what is my favorite sock yarn? Well, for economical sock yarn that you can get that's readily available, it would be the Peyton's Croy sock yarn. It's washable. It holds up really well. My legs are cramping. And it comes in fun colors that are usually self-striping. Next up is for the baby-to-be, who is going to have a cow nursery, and I made a cow Binky Buddy. This is a pay pattern on Ravelry, and I think it came out pretty darn cute if I can figure out how to... I can't figure it out. Yeah, it came out pretty cute, and I like it, and I think my sister and the baby are going to love it. The next thing I knit was the Dude hat. This is out of 1.5 balls of Big Lots yarn. maybe one. I think it's one. Might be one. This is a chunkier yarn. It came out really cute. I don't know if you can see the colors that are in it. Maybe I'll hold it up for you. There's an almost metallic. The brown yarn has a bit of a sheen to it, and it's bulky. And then there's a ply woven through that's white and gold and orange and pink. You can almost see it. And I like it. This Big Lots yarn I would buy again. Much of the Big Lots yarn I would never buy again. But that's neither here nor there. You get what you pay for sometimes. Okay, moving right along because I still have 4 more things to show you and then a question for you all. Knit another pair of socks out of some yarn that Bruno sent me from Friday Studios. And it is in the Lumberjack colorway. Oh my god, bee. Oh my god, I'm allergic to bees. Go away, bee. Shoo, bee. Shoo, 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 shoo. You guys are going to get a very interesting video because I'm not doing any editing. Anyway. Anyway, Lumberjack socks. This is what the ball looks like. Now, I like the yarn very, very much. But I named my socks Electric Lumberjack because I can see the forest green, the gray, and the white as a lumberjack, but I don't know, neon green doesn't quite scream lumberjack to me, but it screams electric lumberjack to me. And Kristen's brother's daughter, my niece, really liked these socks, so there are these, the lumberjack socks, and the yarn was really nice to work with. It's a little rough in the ball, but as you knit with it, it doesn't feel as rough as it does in the ball. I think it's because her balls are wound so much tighter than like a lollipop yarn ball. And I actually don't think she even winds them like this anymore. But it's really very nice to work with as you go on. So, still 3 more things in my basket. The next thing I crocheted, was a sheep. This sheep, following in the R theme of sheep names, is named Rupert. Now we have low-flying birds. Low-flying birds, bugs, and bees. This is a great video. Great video. Anyway, Rupert the Sheep. This is a patchwork moose pay pattern. I really like him. He's really cute. I do wish I used a different color for the body, but I will be making another one, so it doesn't really matter. I would like to make one with a white body and a white limbs and head and a black body. So he's really cute. And like with all of her patterns, the limbs can move and be posed and yay! Rah, rah, she's been ball. Anyway, sorry. And this pattern is available in her shop for purchase. I think it's $4 or $5. Wrong, somewhere around there. Next is another Patrick Moose pattern. This is Rosie the Hippo, which is her name for it. This name for this is actually Ethel, I think. And this is actually named Rosie the Hippo. And I named her Rhinestone Rosie because I used some, I don't know if you can see it, some shimmery yarn. This is Loops and Thread Impeccables. And I think she came out just flippin' adorable. Or what does Bruno say? Oh, so stinking cute. He says I say that all the time. So there is Rosie. Okay. I have officially lost my mind. It's the bees and the bugs and the birds. The 3 bees. Finally, Rosie's also a pay pattern in Patrick Moose's shop. And finally, I just finished a test for Patrick Moose yesterday, and I think it's going to be called Ivor the Dinosaur. Ivor, I-V-O-R. And I haven't named him yet, but here he is. I think he's really cute. He has the spikes all down the back, which a great feature in this pattern is the spikes are knit, they're not knit. The spikes are crocheted all together, so you only have to sew one thing on instead of sewing each spike on individually, which I thought was really neat. The neck is a little bit fiddly, but I think that's something she is going to address in tweaking the pattern. However, I didn't think it was fiddly in an unmanageable way. I think it's fiddly in a way that you just need to find the right placement. What I did was I took some stitch markers and I pinned it on, the locking stitch markers, pinned it on up the head and used that as a guide so that I didn't have to do too much with it. And I think he's really cute and he needs a name. And I don't know what it's going to be. Right now he's just called This Is a Test. This is only a test. So, that's all my finished objects. Just a few. Just a few. Up next, starting on the 24th, which I believe is Monday, I am doing an informal, yikes, knit-along with Bruno Dumfer Stump, Brooke 2013 Chick, and Sarah S.E. Hepworth, and anybody else who would like to join. This is not a prize knit-along, this is just a camaraderie knit-along, and we will be knitting the Monkey Socks by Cookie A. There are many versions of the Monkey Socks, I think 3 or 4. Some are free, one is pay. They are toe up, they are cuff down. It's really a great, it looks a lot of people knit them and they look like fun socks, but that comes into my dilemma because I have to choose some yarn. And I just pulled some out. So, bugs! So, originally I was going to knit the socks out of some Socks That Rock or Into the World, and I thought I had more than one Into the World, but I only had one. So I have this to choose from. This is October 2012. It's called Bodhi, B-O-D-H-I. So this is option 1. This is more for a variegator or a semi-solid. My next option is a Mill and Socks That Rock in pinks and greens, which is, totally my colors. I just can't choose. My next option, which I'm actually going to take out of the running, was this. I'm going to save this because this is a medium weight and I don't want to use a medium weight on that. My next option is, this is Socks That Rock's Queen Charlotte, which is pretty, but I'm not exactly sure why I bought this. I think I bought this at Rhinebeck, and at that point I was just grabbing first, thinking later. So those were the ones I was thinking of, and then I found a couple more upstairs, and now I just can't choose. So my other option is not going to be that because there's no nylon in it. This is the Periwinkle Sheep, and this is the Rhinebeck 2011 colorway, and I really like this, and I'm tempted to use this. However, considering that it's a commemorative colorway, I kinda don't know if I ever want to use this, so that's another option. Another skein by Periwinkle Sheep is Spilled Wine, and I really like this color, so that can go in the maybes. And then, what's this? Oh, here's another Socks That Rock lightweight. This is in like purples and browns, pinky purples and browns. I don't know if you guys can actually see the colors, so that's another option. And then I have this, which I don't think I'm going to use because I really don't enjoy sparkle in my socks. Because we have dogs, I feel like I'm always picking the sparkle out, thinking that it's dog hair, and it's usually not. So we're going to take that one out too. So that leaves me with, here, I'll give you the numbers, and you can tell me which you think I should knit. We will go with Into the World is option 1. Socks That Rocks in My Colors will be option 2. Socks That Rocks in I don't know why I picked them colors, will be number 3. Socks That Rocks in pinky purple brown will be number 4. And Periwinkle Sheep in Spilled Wine will be number 5. So, I am asking your help to choose which I use. So, that is all I have for today. Just a few things, 1 or 2 things to show and share with you. I hope you are all doing really well, and until next time, I'll talk to you later. Bye!